For the last 20 years, the role of a manager, specifically engineering manager, has been a bundle of tasks like being project manager, people coach, technical advisor, and admin. But now,
and the growth of AI. If AI or OpenAI,
the world of AI,
artificial intelligence is about to change this role forever. Actually, it's already changing. Hi, I am Vinay Bansal, an engineering manager. In my time as an engineering manager at companies like Google and Nike, I've seen a lot of change, but nothing compares to what's happening right now with AI. In this video, we're going to cut through the noise. I'm not going to tell you if your job is changing or not. I'm going to give you a clear playbook on how it's changing and exactly what you need to do to go from being a manager who just operates to one who truly leads. With this, you'll know if AI is really going to take your job from you. Alright, so what does this actually look like day to day? Let's understand how your job is changing. I see it breaking down into 3 big shifts. First, let's talk about just keeping track of the work. You know what I'm talking about, right? Your Monday morning is spent in chasing people on Slack, nagging them for updates, trying to piece together what actually happened last week. For years, being a good manager meant you were the person who held the master spreadsheet in your head. You were the hub. Well, that's not your job anymore. AI is the perfect hub. It can read every Jira ticket, every design doc, every Slack channel, and give you a flawless summary of the project status in about 10 seconds. So where do you come in? Your job isn't to ask what happened. Your job is to look at the summary AI gives you and ask, so what? You are the one who sees that a delay in one team is going to create a huge problem for another team in 3 weeks. With the help of AI, you stop being a person who reports on the past and become a person who sees around the corners and protect your team's future. For example, in my own work, I've been able to integrate Gemini into my day-to-day life. I can just copy-paste large log data, give it to AI, do deep analysis, and debug the issue for me in seconds, which would have taken me hours to do. AI can take meeting notes for me and summarize key points, which would distract me from meeting if I'm doing that while having critical discussion. Okay, the second huge shift is in how you handle performance and growth. Let's be honest, performance reviews are often the most time-consuming part of your job. You feel like a detective spending hours digging through Git logs and old documents trying to find evidence to justify a rating. It feels less like leadership and more like building a legal case. The good news is, AI is a fantastic detective. It can pull all that data for you fairly and without bias. This frees you up to do the real work, the human work. Your job is no longer to present the evidence. It's to sit down with your engineer with the data right there and have a real conversation about their career. You finally have the time to stop being a judge and start being a proper coach. You get to help them connect the dots and build a plan for where they want to go next. And the third one. This one's important. It's about communication. How much of your day is just relaying information? You're a human router. You take a message from your director, rephrase it for your team. You take updates from your team, summarize it for your director. See, AI is a perfect router. It can draft those summaries and updates instantly. So what's left for you? The messy stuff, the important stuff, the stuff that actually requires a leader. Your job is now to handle the complex disagreement between 2 of your senior engineers. It's to build a team culture where people feel safe enough to bring you bad news early. It's to create an environment of trust. You stop managing the flow of information and you start managing the health of your team's culture. Okay, so now the big question is, where do you fit into all this? And look, this isn't some guess about the future. It's happening today. I talk to managers at top tech companies every single week, and you can easily spot the best ones. They are the ones getting promoted. Their teams are shipping amazing products, and here's the secret. They've already made this change. They're already using AI as a co-pilot. So you have a simple choice. You can adapt, and if you do, your job will get way more interesting and strategic. Or you can ignore this change. And if you do that, your role will eventually become obsolete. It's really that simple. And this isn't just about your current role, it's also about the next one. When I interview engineering manager candidates now, I don't just ask them how they manage projects. I also ask, how do you leverage AI and automation to make your team more effective? I want to know if they're an operator or a strategist. Showing you have already made this mental shift is a massive signal that you're already a top tier candidate. So, how do you know where you stand right now? I want you to try something this week, a simple test. For the next few days, pay close attention to where your time goes. At the end of each day, just ask yourself, what did I actually do today? Was I chasing updates or was I coaching my team? Then put all those tasks into two buckets. The first bucket is the operator work. Think reporting, tracking, all the old stuff we just talked about. The second bucket is strategist work. This is a new job, coaching, solving tough problems and planning what's coming next. Be honest with yourself. What's the split? 50-50 or maybe 80-20? Now, if you look at your list and see it's mostly operator work, don't panic, but you do need to pay attention. The good news is you now have a clear roadmap. You know exactly what to do. So here's your first step. It's small. Don't try to change everything at once. Just pick one thing. Look at your list of operator tasks and find the one you hate the most. Is it that weekly status report? Is it the nagging people for updates? Pick that one. Okay, so you have taken that first small step. But how do you turn one action into a real lasting change? This is where we talk about upskilling. And I want to be very clear about this. The secret to getting good at AI is simpler than you think. You don't need to go take a 6-month machine learning course. You just need to start using it every single day. Treat it like a new member of your team, a co-pilot who's ready to help. You get good at working with it by working with it. It's that simple. Now, a word of caution. Treating AI as a co-pilot doesn't mean you can switch off your brain. In fact, it's the opposite. You have to be even more vigilant. First, data privacy is non-negotiable. Never ever paste your proprietary code or sensitive team information into a public AI tool. Always use your company's approved internal tools. Second, you are still accountable for the output. AI can be confidently wrong. Your job is to be the expert, the human filter that catches the errors, refines the tone, and adds the critical context that machine language always misses. So how do you do that? You make it a habit, your first reflex. Before you start writing that weekly update for your boss, stop. Paste your bullet points into an AI and ask it, write a professional draft of this. Struggling to create a project roadmap? You can ask the AI, brainstorm a list of potential risks for a project that migrates our user authentication service to a new platform. Struggling with how to phrase some difficult feedback? Don't stare at a blank screen. Ask the AI, give me 3 different ways to say this constructively. Your goal is to stop starting from scratch. Let the AI do first 80% of the work. Your job is to use your experience and wisdom to handle the final 20%. Before you have a performance discussion one-on-one, don't just ask your AI to summarize contributions. Get specific. Try a prompt like, based on our Jira board data for the last sprint, summarize the key tickets closed by engineer and identify any tickets that were blocked for more than 2 days. See the difference? You're using it as a data analyst to get to the so what part faster. And look, all of this, automating reports, drafting emails, summarizing data, it's all for one reason. It's to free up your time and your mental energy for the one thing that AI will never ever be able to do. AI can never be a human. AI can analyze the data, but it can't sit down with someone on your team and have an empathetic conversation when they are having a tough week. It can schedule a meeting in future, but it can't build trust and psychological safety inside a team. It can write a project plan, but it cannot inspire your team with a vision that makes them excited to come to work on one day. The more you delegate the machine work to machine, the more you can focus on being a great human leader. And in the age of AI, that is your ultimate competitive advantage. That's what makes you irreplaceable. If you're struggling with any of this management stuff, you might be in trouble. But don't worry, I've created some videos to guide you in these activities such as conflict resolution and handling performance reviews. Check out my channel for such videos. So that's the bottom line. Your job is changing. The value is no longer being an operator spending time in tracking, reporting, and routing information. Your new job description, your real value, is in being a strategist, a coach, and a true leader for your team. AI isn't here to replace you. It's here to liberate you. It's a tool that lets you finally focus on the work that only you can do. Let me know in the comments what is the one operator task you're going to automate this week. And of course, if you found this playbook helpful, like the video and subscribe to BeTopTen for more practical advice to level up your leadership. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.